When I started being a governor, no permanent secretary in Anambra State had a car. The judges didn't have a car. And meanwhile, there's in the budget provided there's a 150 million naira for the government to buy 2 bulletproof cars for the governor. I said, okay, fine, it's good. I took it, called one Mr. Eric, who was then the GM of PAN, with Onyemuche Namani, and said, listen, I want you people to do me a favor. I want to buy, they used to sell Peugeot 406, 3.7 million. I said, I want to buy about 100. So you sell it to me, 3 million. The Frenchman agreed with me. So I took the 150, gave him as deposit. He gave me the first 50 vehicles. I had 18 judges, so 18. I had permanent secretaries, 19, so 19. The governor will keep 10. So all my first tenure, if you're around Doka, I used 406 Peugeot. And nobody kidnapped me, nobody shot me, and we saved that money.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is said to have submitted a supplementary budget to the National Assembly requesting the allocation of over 7.3 billion naira for the procurement of vehicles for the State House. In the same budget, the Office of the First Lady is set to receive 1.5 billion naira for the purchase of new vehicles. The budget request is set to be part of President Tinubu's broader proposal, which includes a 2.17 trillion supplementary budget for approval by the National Assembly. Within the supplementary budget, the government intends to allocate 2.9 billion naira for the acquisition of sports utility vehicles designated for the presidential villa, and an additional 2.9 billion naira for the replacement of existing vehicles at the presidential villa.
The reason I'm doing these videos, this type of videos comparing Obi and Tinubu, are for two reasons. Number one is for me to show you clearly that the two persons or the two candidates are totally different, and to show you that the support we have for Obi is not just for the supporting. It is because we know that this man is completely different from the stuffs that you have around as politicians in Nigeria. Then secondly, is for those who normally would say, what would have Obi done differently? So this is my way of showing you, this is what Peter would have done differently. Yes, if Peter Obi was to be in office, this is what he would have done differently. And what is the best way to show you that, if not to show you how he did it when he was governor? So the best way is not to talk with theory. The best way is to show you what he did when he was a governor. So, and that is why I'm making these types of videos, showing you what he did while he was the governor, and then showing you what the person in Aso Rock is doing in Aso Rock. So that you can make your comparison and then see that indeed the difference is really so much. So that is why I'm making these types of videos, to show you with evidences, with examples, so that it will be clear, so that it will not be hearsay. People can see it and understand that what we're saying is not just that we're making them up. They are realities, they are truth. And my joy is that Obi made these speeches even far back before he even contested with Atiku as his VP in 2019. So these are not fresh videos for someone to start saying because he's contesting for president. Okay, so these are this video was actually in 2016 at the platform in Lagos. So that is the issue. That is the main reason why I'm bringing these videos to you, so that you can see by yourself. If you are obedient, you'll be able to, your understanding of Peter will become strengthened. You know that you have not followed him in vain, or you are not following the wrong person. And then maybe if you are sitting on the fence, you are still, listening to the lies and the propaganda of APC or PDP. You are confused about Peter Obi. Well, these videos are to show you that you need to come into the camp because Peter Obi is the right man. So these are all reasons why I'm doing these videos. So if you are in the fence, you are undecided, you are thinking of, maybe you didn't support Peter last time, and because of what you were told. Now, for two reasons, I will encourage you to support Peter. If you look at what is going on, do you prefer the suffering that we are suffering, especially if you are in Nigeria? Even if you are a Nigerian, but you don't live in Nigeria, you have your people that live in Nigeria. They must have been telling you about the suffering. So, Tinubu has proven that he can't handle the economy. He can't handle virtually everything. So why support him again? Why not try Peter? And I'm also letting you know that coming over to be an obedient and support Peter Obi, you are supporting a better candidate. That is, my major reason for making these videos, so that you can see and understand. Now, let me also give you an example of a country that was able to cut down cost of governance and how that country was able to revive her economy. Because when we talk about cutting cost of governance, sometimes people think we are saying that presidents should not be living well and all of that. I've heard such arguments. Now, the truth is, cutting cost of governance is necessary in a country like Nigeria. The inflation that we have, all the things that are going on in Nigeria, part of it is the government spending. So cutting cost of governance will definitely improve our economy. So let me just give you an example of a country that was able to cut down cost of governance and what happened. So the country I'm going to use is Serbia. Now, before 2014, Serbia was faced with high inflation and very bloated public sector, just like Nigeria. The size of government was something else, and then they were faced with high rate of inflation, just exactly like what we have. That's what I'm trying to explain. So, but what did the Prime Minister? What he did was that he launched a serious reform focused heavily on cutting the cost of governance. Well, unlike Tinubu's reform, that is based on increasing their own enjoyment, but cutting the cost of good lifestyle for Nigerians. So that is his own style. His own style is increase government enjoyment, then reduce citizens' livelihood. So, but in Serbia, what the Prime Minister did was cut down on the cost of governance. So what he did was that he reduced the number of ministries. Yes, he cut down number of ministries and merged some ministries. Well, what do we have here? We're increasing ministries. So you can see the opposite of what we're doing. Then he also introduced digital governance. Then that will remove all the bureaucracies that you have in government, because sometimes those bureaucracy, those things tend to sometimes they are unnecessary, very, very unnecessary, and then they all constitute cost sometimes. So, but he brought digital governance, so they removed all those kind of things. Then he also fought corruption. Yes, he was able to fight corruption. And then, so as of 2021, Serbia brought down her inflation from 10% in 2014 to 3%. That is what we're talking about, just by cutting down the cost of governance. And that is what we're talking about. So with the rate at which these guys are going, spending money, like money is water, the truth is that we can hardly bring down inflation by this type of spending. And that is the truth. So, and that is why when you watch, you just know that these guys, they don't know what they're doing. That is the truth. And that is why you are listening to me, you are obedient, or maybe you are in the fence, or maybe you are even a PDP or APC supporter. I encourage you, come, Peter Obi will rebuild Nigeria. Let us stand before him, support him in every way. And by the grace of God, come 2027, we will have a president, Peter Obi. Thank you for your time. Remember, a new Nigeria is possible. and Peter Obi is coming. God bless you.